All right? In simple discount, we need to remember that there are times when a loan size depends more on the amount to be repaid than on the amount to be borrowed. So in this case, we need to be aware of the terms discount loan and discount proceeds. Now, a loan that is made on the basis of a fixed maturity value is called a discount loan. The lender subtracts an amount, which is called the discount, from the maturity value and pays the result, which is called the proceeds, to our borrower. So, initially, in simple interest, we are made aware that when we borrow something, we need to pay a rent, which is called the interest. Therefore, what we will return, which is called the maturity value, is the sum of both what we borrowed and the rent of our borrowed money. But in simple discount, it looks like this. We are aware of the maturity value already. We decided to give up the discount in order to pay this part. So in actuality, the idea of a discount for us means that we are not going to pay that specific amount. But in this case, what we call here the discount is what we gave up so that we could have our money faster. So the idea here, kaya tinawag na gave up. Give up mo na makatipid ka para lang makuha mo agad yung pera. I hope that was clear enough. If it's not, pwedeng ulitin natin siya or pwede nating i-visualize, pwede nating ulitin yung video para mas ma-visualize natin yung sinasabi kong explanation. But for now, ganito muna yung magiging setup natin. For simple discount, it's gonna be maturity value, it's gonna be discount, and proceeds. Okay. So our discount is equivalent to MDT. So the concept of discount again, the large T or the capital D is discount for a loan. The M is the maturity value, and the smaller letter D is the discount rate, which is expressed as a decimal in computations, but usually it's going to be expressed in percent in problems, and the T is term for the loan. So, let's proceed to the first question. A 5,000 peso face value discount note has a term of 219 days. The simple discount rate is 9 3/8%. Now we're gonna find the proceeds. So yung tinatawag natin na face value when we talk about discount is actually the maturity value. Therefore, to get this 4,718 pesos and 75 centavos, here's what we're gonna do. We're going to use the simple discount formula to calculate the discount and then subtract this discount from the maturity value para makuha natin yung tinatawag na proceeds. So, we are aware that the maturity value is 5,000. Our time or term is 219 days and our discount rate is 9 3/8%. Therefore, to get the discount, this is what we're gonna do. 219 days is divided by 365 since as we've termed before, if hindi naman expressed or hindi naman tayo nire-require na gumamit ng banker's rule, we're gonna use the exact method. Therefore, to properly convert our time, we divide it by 365. So when we do that, our discount is 281 pesos and 25 centavos. Now, we're going to subtract this 281 pesos and 25 centavos from our face value or from our maturity value. Since ang hinahanap nga kasi natin is yung tinatawag na proceeds. Remember, kapag hinahanap natin ang proceeds, ang kailangan natin doon is ibawas yung discount sa ating maturity value. Okay? So when we do that, we will get 4,718 pesos and 75 centavos. Okay? Next, a 10,000 treasury bill, okay, yun pang ibig sabihin ng T-bill, with 182 days to maturity is sold at an auction for 9,753 pesos and 16 centavos. So what was the simple discount rate? Okay, the simple discount rate is 4.95%. So when finding the maturity value, the simple discount rate, and the term, we just need to plug the known quantities into the simple discount formula and use the balance principle or the principle of balance to find the unknown quantity. Next is we're gonna adjust the result using appropriate rounding and or units. And of course, this approach is actually the same or similar to our simple interest problems. Medyo nabago lang talaga yung mga terminologies natin. Okay, So the amount of the discount, of course, we need to find out the discount first kasi nga hindi naman yung discount ang hinahanap natin. In this case, binigay na sa atin yung ating maturity value and yung binayad natin or yung ating proceeds. Therefore, madali na nating mahanap yung tinatawag na discount. We don't need to go for MDT para makuha pa si discount. Kasi in this case, hindi rin natin magagamit yung formula dahil ang nawawala nga or may nawawala nga doon, which is yung ating small letter D or yung ating discount rate. So we have 246 pesos and 84 centavos. Now, our small letter D will be equivalent to our capital D all over our M, maturity value, and our time. Hence, we will get 4.95%. Next. So, Lasak Office Supply borrowed a total of 38,000 pesos for a year. Now, this note's maturity value was 40,000 pesos. Now, find the simple discount rate and find the simple interest rate. Okay. So, the rate or the simple discount rate is 5%, whereas the simple interest rate is 5.26%. Alright, so simple interest versus simple discount. So regardless of how it was originally set up, a loan can be regarded as a simple interest or a simple discount. It actually depends upon the situation, how it's going to be looked at. So, to find the simple interest rate, use the simple interest formula and then solve for R. To find for the simple discount rate, we're going to use the simple discount formula and solve for D. So this is how it's going to happen. For simple interest rate, we have I is equivalent to PRT. And when we do that, 2,000, okay, is equivalent to 38,000 multiplied by the rate multiplied by 1 year. So, saan nanggaling yung 2,000? So, alam natin na ang ating principal is yung 38 and ang ibabalik natin ay 40,000. Yun yung pagtingin natin. Kaya, meron tayong 2,000 dito. Therefore, our rate is equivalent to 5.26%. This is after using proper algebra or balance principle. Now, kapag dito naman sa part B, D is equivalent to MDT, yung 2,000 natin is equivalent to 40,000 multiplied by D multiplied by 1. Why is it 40,000 and not 38,000? This is because ang hinihingi natin dito is yung maturity value. So, D now is equivalent to 5%. Okay, the results may be surprising, okay? So, we might have expected that the rate would be the same either way because tulad nga nung sinabi natin nung una, parang medyo nabaliktad lang yung ating understanding sa kanya. But after all, in both cases, it is a percentage. We're looking for a specific percentage and we've already seen the amounts of both the simple interest and the simple discount being the same. The simple interest is 2,000, the simple interest over here is also 2,000. But what are they an interest of? This is a simple interest of the 38,000. This is the simple discount of the 40,000. So remember that a rate is a percent and the percent must be a percent of something. So for simple interest, that something is the principal. But in the case of our simple discount, it's the maturity value. And as you can see, when we calculated the simple interest rate, we looked at 2,000 over here as a percent of 38,000. While we looked at 2,000 over here as a percent of 40,000, naturally, even if they are technically the same, they are also different. Because 2,000 will automatically be a larger percentage of 38,000 when compared to it as a percentage of 40,000. Therefore, it is a fact that simple interest rates are always larger than the simple discount rate. Alright, next. We have a 10,000 face value 9-month simple discount note which is offered with an 8% simple discount rate. What is the equivalent simple interest rate? So the equivalent one is 8.51%. How? So the equivalent simple interest rate for a discount note, find the proceeds first of the note using the simple discount rate formula and then use the proceeds as the principal in the simple interest formula and then solve for R. Okay? So, ibig sabihin, we have to first find out the proceeds. And for us to find out the proceeds, we need to be aware first of the discount. Kasi yung discount yung ibabawas natin sa ating maturity value, which is 10,000. Therefore, 10,000 multiplied by 0.08 multiplied by the quantity of 9 divided by 12. So we will get 600. Now, 600 ang ating discount. Ibabawas natin siya sa ating 10,000. So that's 9,400. Therefore, 9,400 now would be our principal. Okay? Our principal is 9,400. Our interest is also the 600. And now we're looking for the rate. We will also plug in the same values as you can see here. And therefore, we will get R is equivalent to 600 divided by 7,050. And once we do that, we calculate that using our calculators, we will get 8.51 as our simple interest rate. Next. So Nina is expecting a 795 peso paycheck in 8 days. So a payday lender offers cash now, charging at the fee of 1.15% plus 10 pesos. So we're going to find the equivalent simple interest and simple discount rates. So the answers here are, for D, or the discount rate, it's 125.86%, and for the interest rate, it's 129.43%. Again, this is how we're gonna do it. Rates in disguise. Why is it called rates in disguise? This is because magdadagdag ka na nga lang ng 10 pesos, may charging fee pa na 1.5%. So, discount may be expressed as a percent of the maturity value without regards to time. So, to find the proceeds, multiply the percent, which is in the decimal form, by the maturity value and then subtract. An additional flat amount may be sometimes also subtracted. Yung tinatawag natin dito na flat amount, ito nga yun, yung 10 pesos na binabanggit. So an equivalent simple interest or discount rate can be found using the simple interest or the simple discount formula. And we're going to do that here. First, as a discount, this is what we're going to do. Okay, so where did we get the discount? The discount is actually the 1.5% of 795 plus the 10 peso charge. Okay, and then when we do that, our D is equivalent to 125.86. As I, or as an interest, it's still 21.93, but in this case, we're going to subtract 21.93 from 795. Thus, kapag kinompute natin yan, I would be equivalent to 129.43%. Okay, next. Crystal loans Jetro a total of 20,000 for 1 year at 8% simple interest. 3 months later, Crystal sells the note to Rizan at a 7 3/4% simple discount rate. So how much does Rizan pay? The answer is 20,344 pesos and 50 centavos. How were we able to get that? Okay, secondary sales of promissory notes are usually done na. Ibig sabihin nito, merong originaling umutang, si Crystal na nagpautang, kailangan na niya talaga ng pera, so binenta niya yung promissory note ni Jetro sa ibang tao. For secondary sales of promissory notes, the owner of a promissory note may sell the note to someone else, as we have explained a while ago. Now, this sale does not affect the maturity value or maturity date of the note, so these should be calculated first. Again, kung ano yung unang usapan ni Crystal at ni Jetro, hindi yun mababago dahil lamang sa binenta ni Crystal yung note ni Jetro sa ibang tao. The selling price is based on the previously determined maturity value and date. So, this is how we're gonna do it. Ang original loan is made using simple interest. Therefore, I is equivalent to PRT. Our interest, again, si Jetro nag-loan ng 20,000 kay Crystal, 8% yon for 1 year. Therefore, ang interest is 1,600. Ibig sabihin nun, ang ating maturity value is actually 21,600. So, dun sa secondary sale natin, kung saan ang ginawa ni Crystal ay simple discount rate, remember that our term here is 9 months na lamang. Bakit 9 months? Kasi nga, after 3 months, saka binenta ni Crystal. Therefore, the 1 year, okay, on the secondary sale would be lessened to 9 months. Therefore, D is equivalent to MDT. the discount is equivalent to 21,600 multiplied by 0.0775 multiplied by 9 over 12. Saan nanggaling yung 0.0775? Remember, ito na yung panibagong discount rate. And this was not made because nagbawas tayo sa kung saan. Ito po yun, 7 3/4%. Ang discount rate is 1,255 pesos and 50 centavos. Therefore, dahil ang hinahanap natin is yung proceeds, we're going to subtract 1,255.5 to 21,600. Hence, we got 20,344 pesos and 50 centavos. Next. For the previous scenario, let's try to calculate the simple interest rate that Crystal earns, the rate that Rizan earns, and the rate that Jetro pays. Let's try. Crystal will earn 6.89%, Rizan will earn 8.23%, and Jetro will have to pay 8%. Okay, let's start. The simple interest rate earned by each party to a promissory note can be determined, okay, from a promissory note transaction. So, draw a timeline that reflects what happened from a given party's point of view. And then, we're going to substitute the information from that timeline into the simple interest formula to solve for the rate that the party actually earned. Okay, so let's start. For Crystal's, in her timeline, 20,000 after 3 months became 20,344 pesos and 50 centavos. Okay? Ibig sabihin, yung sagot actually kanina na how much will Rizan pay, ito yung ibabayad niya kay Crystal. Therefore, for Crystal's point of view, according to PRT or the simple interest rate, nakakuha siya ng 344 pesos and 50 centavos. Remember, after 3 months, yung 20,000 niya naging 20,344 pesos and 50 centavos. So, dahil after 3 months siya, we divided it by 12. Okay? Therefore, ang rate niya would be equivalent to 6.89%. Now, how about for Rizan? Si Rizan, nag-start siya dito. Ito yung nilabas niyang pera. After 9 months, ito na siya. 21,600. Therefore, for Rizan, ang magiging interest niya or ang kikitain niya is actually 1,255.5. Saan niya nanggaling? Binawas natin kay 21,600 yung 20,344 pesos and 50 centavos. Therefore, after computation, Rizan will earn 8.23%. And of course, yung kay Jetro, hindi yan mababago. Okay? It doesn't or will not change. Kasi ang original nilang usapan, 8% for 1 year. Tulad nung sinabi natin, hindi mababago yung original na usapan ni Jetro at ni Crystal dahil lamang sa pagbenta ni Crystal sa ibang tao or kay Rizan nung promissory note. Jillian loaned Sarah 997 pesos and 52 centavos. But 74 days later, she sold the note to Zyrene for 993 pesos and 90 centavos. So what simple interest rate did Jillian earn? Let's see. The answer is negative 1.79%. Why? How do we know negative interest rates? Okay? When someone loses money on a deal, we can consider this as earning negative interest and express the investment result with a negative interest rate. So how is that? Remember that for Jillian, 997 pesos and 52 centavos became, after 74 days, 993 pesos and 90 centavos. Actually, looking at it this way, we would already see hindi nag-earn si Jillian sa pagbebenta niya nung promissory note. So, for us to look at it, eto nga siya. 997 pesos, ibabawas natin kay 993. Hindi natin yan pagpapalitin ng pwesto. So, 993.90 minus 9972.52 is equivalent to negative 3.62. Okay? So, following what we usually do here, we will arrive at a negative value. And with that, we're done for preliminaries. Next up, midterms. compound interest.